I think we... Oh man, Make Disappear is insanely good draw. Hello everyone, it's Sloth here, and today I'm extremely excited to showcase you this control because it blew my mind. It's actually so much more enjoyable than I expected, and it feels very fresh. So if you're bored with the meta, this deck should definitely do it for you. So we will talk about the cards. Get Lost, new Fatefull Absence with improvement. And I have to say, after playing with this card a bit, it's actually great. It's so much better than giving your opponent one card. Most of the time it doesn't matter because you have smites, you have all of this stuff. So you just kill, might token or whatever anyway. You don't care. So they don't get any value and you already got the destroy effect. With Treasure Map is card I was playing so much in Historic before starting the channel. You wouldn't believe, like basically every deck I had played with Treasure Map and Karn. So basically you scry every turn. After you scry 3 times, you turn it into a land, so you get mana boost, and also 3 treasures, which is insane. It gives you such advantage in control against control matchups that those Make Disappears and Emperors are the whole different level. And also when later you untap the land, you sacrifice treasures and you draw a card for each one of them. So basically it can draw you 3 cards or give you 3 extra mana, and that's your decision. Whatever you feel that will help you win the game. This is a 3 mana counterspell instead of like dissipates and stuff. Your opponent needs to pay 4, so it's not a fully hard counterspell, but it can be cycled and turned into one of the 4 top cards from your library. The Tidebinder was an experiment, and honestly it had its moments. It's 3 mana 3/2 with flash, so decent. When this enters the battlefield, counter up to 1 target activated or triggered ability. And you also have the other part. If an ability of an artifact, creature, planeswalker is countered this way, this permanent loses the ability for as long as this is in the battlefield, but mostly I just use it as stifle and just counter it. You need to be smart about it. For example, if you try to counter Mindbreaker, I learned the hard way. You need to counter the triggered effect of attacking and not the unnerve, because they will be able to do it again because it doesn't trigger, it doesn't exile anything, and they're still in the graveyard. Some tip for you so you don't get wrecked as some of us. Out of Air is counterspell I'm actually starting to be kinda excited about, even though it's 4 mana for a counterspell, so super expensive. However, it has the second mode. When it targets a creature spell, it's only 2 mana. It's also double blue, so this explains the mana base. We have a lot of blue sources. We basically have 5 non-blue sources in the whole deck, and that's why it favors Azorius super hard, because you want to be able to cast it on turn 2. And with this deck you very often can, so it can be a very useful, like, Make Disappear hard counter against creature decks. And if you don't need to target creature, it's probably a control matchup, so you probably have a lot of time. It's still a little bit expensive, but the second mode makes it so much easier to use. And we also have Hurl into History, 5 mana counterspell that lets you discover X, where X is that spell's mana value that you countered, but it can only counter artifact or creature spells, so very narrow, very expensive. Yeah, you will see it in action, but we'll talk about it more in the outro. So guys, this is the deck control. We try to... Oh, and we have... yeah, how could I forget? Restless Anchorage, the bird. And I have to say, guys, after playing with this, especially if you have multiples, it's really good card. It kills your opponent so quickly, and things like Leyline Binding and all of this stuff doesn't hit the land permanents. So it actually is very scary. Together with Emperor, the ++1 counter is insane on the bird, especially that you create maps. After the attack, you can instantly crack the map and make it a 3/4. With Emperor, it's 4/5, and it keeps growing. So one bird can absolutely finish the game in like 3 or 4 turns. So that's huge. You need to tap out, so you probably need a lot of mana, but Treasure Map helps with it. Alright, enough rambling. I know you want the action, but I really felt responsible to showcase you all the new cards and the idea behind the whole deck. I know, counter spells and draw cards. I know, crazy. We do not play Mirex. I wanted to check the Anchorage, but we'll talk about it more in the outro. So don't forget to subscribe if you want more control insight on the new decks, and yeah, have fun guys. I really hope you will enjoy, and the deck plays way more fun than I expected. Alright, we're going first. I kinda like this. Let's go with Treasure Map on the play is insanely good. Let's see what we are against. And there's actually way more control decks today than I'm used to. I love to see it, man. I love to see it. Alright, we are getting some value from the maps. That's huge. And I think we keep the Tidebinder. I kinda like this card. And we'll make upkeep stop to make sure that we hit the land. I have a feeling we'll miss a land, but maybe we won't. I hope we won't. Oh man, that's huge. That's actually good. We need to carve out. If our opponent was really like super good player, he would know that it means that I probably don't have a land. That's usually when you upkeep stop. Or maybe if you are super flooded. Alright. Esper control. They have Void Runs. Oh, this is a great card overall. Yeah, I think I want it. I mean, first, you don't really want to do it, right? Yeah, okay, that was a little bit awkward. Let's see what they play then. I have a counterspell, but I really don't want to use it. Man, getting used to the treasure map in standard, but it feels super cool. I love the card so much. Is that a play? No. Okay, the fact that they missed it and wasted 4 mana is insanely huge, because I'm not wasting any mana. A little trespasser that could. I mean, what would happen if that was counterspell? And the fact that you save this 2 mana is insane, man. Finally! And I can use treasure map and flip it and then get all the value. I think we... oh man, make disappear is insanely good draw. Alright. So, I will do this and try to get even more ahead. I could get one of the treasures, but taxes my mana quite a lot. So I will wait one turn without a land drop. Our treasures should compensate for, you know, not having a land drop. That's fine. I actually do not mind. I think this can stay for, you know, foreseeable future. We will just get so much value otherwise. We can even maybe Sunfall. Do I want to play the Emperor into make disappear potentially? That's also a pretty nice play. Right? They will make disappear, but I still want to do it more. First we scry. You know what? Not the perfect land, but still a land. And we'll draw it. Still got the make disappear. Will we cast something main phase? We generally don't want to. But in this case, I guess I will, just because my mana is lining up like this. Because we can make disappear and smite, and that means we want trespasser at, you know, lower stats.
I'm home.
Maybe we won't be needing to. Alright. Man, I actually really enjoy this gameplay. With Treasure Map there are so many small decisions that really do matter and change the game. Even like scrying one card on top or the bottom is so huge. That's fine. We kill the Trespasser with 1 mana. I should tap differently. You need to be careful about the auto-tapper, right? Because it has high priority while it gives colorless. So, because of this, we will be forced to get rid of one of the treasures, which is a little bit unfortunate. And let's kill it with Sunfall. Yep, and it costs us 1 card, basically. Let's pay the ward, but we still have make disappear whatever happens, so that's good. And keeping Emperor in the battlefield means that the pressure is on. So even though I don't super care about Trespasser, I care about my Emperor more. And only 4 cards to go. Hidetsugu and Kairi. I see. Interesting one. They might go for the Throated. That explains they didn't want the Samurai. I wish I had 1 more mana. I mean, we can just kill it. Okay, I think we let him through. Because then we can activate the treasure. Okay, I think I have the idea. They will draw the cards, which is unfortunate, but they're still drawing. So they will get a momentary like boost of power because their hand just got way better. But it will be offset by next two draws, which are super bad. And that should be Breach the Multiverse, right? More or less. But you get the idea. They kinda go with the same type of cards. Man, this is a great card, but not for now. I don't think we need to draw more right now. So we will use the colorless mana, just to be sure. Don't forget you can counter this ability. And no, definitely not the card we want. You know what? I'll take the land. Land is okay. Alright, so what do we do? Do we just Sunfall? Or we leave this in the battlefield and start drawing cards. It's a strange play, but I think it's okay.
Guards, to me.
It also gives us better counterspell. Yeah, I kinda like it. This way, like, don't forget, we have 4 extra cards with in those treasures. If we don't burn the treasures, we are super ahead in value. And Hidetsugu is just a 5/4 if it doesn't get the ability. We can also counter fully the effect. So let's see. It all depends what our opponent is doing. Sure, he's really good at killing those samurais, but understandable. Let's see if he wastes all the damage on Emperor. No, perfect. I don't even care about the face damage, so for next 2 turns we don't care. Maybe 1 turn because they can try to go for lethal. My turn. Okay. Okay. I mean, I can go for Hidetsugu on the next turn. So I think we just go a dance step because we don't know how much mana we need right now. I could Emperor right now, but it's not like they won't attack on the next turn as well. And if they won't, it's even better because I can Sunfall when they play something else, like Trespassers. I wonder if they play Mastermind. They should play the Siren, the new one. It feels really good in this kind of deck. And usually they were playing Mastermind, but not sure if that's the version. Alright. We're slowly getting to advantage, I think. We just need to trade those cards. What would happen if that was a lone Emperor? They might have go for the throw, don't forget, so that's why we're a bit cautious about this. They might just kill it in response and get the effect. And that's why we might need a lot of mana, even to pay make disappears. Let's see. So they are going for... Oh! It's interesting. So, this is my Emperor, and I need to pay 4 if I want her. That is a lot. I could force him to pay as well. That would tap him fully. So this would be 2 mana, and then I burn 1 treasure. This will be the weirdest play ever, man, but I kinda like it. It's just too epic. So let's target this one. And then we casualty. And I mean, we definitely made a lot of things disappear right now. And we need to hit this one, right? Targeted make disappear. I think this is the one, right? Wait, what? Is that my? I don't know. You know what? I think I didn't click enough. Yeah, it didn't turn into spell. So I need to double counter and hope that he will get as confused as I did. So I should probably... Oh no, I think he realized what's going on. That's not perfect. Yeah, I needed to make this click. I didn't. So that's bad. That's actually bad. So I will pay this mana. And now, do we risk Hidetsugu and Kairi? Sure, go for it. What is the card? That was a make this... No way, man. He just got another make this here. They want Emperor so much. No. Because right now it's 2 cards. If I do it, I pay 2 cards for this. So I much rather just get Memory Deluge or something. Those treasures are actual treasures. Perfect. And this will be the Sunfall. Good for him, right? Because I wanted to draw a lot of cards and he has instantly sharded that punishes it. Let's take 2. And first let's Sunfall and see if it goes through. We have a lot of mana. Alright, good. And now we start to get the... Man, that was the weirdest play of my life, honestly. And that's a land. It's okay. It means we can sacrifice more treasure and keep the Tidebinder. Alright. When we get all of those cards, we should be ahead, generally. That's the idea. And he should stop like playing super strong card, because you don't really have too many of them usually. We untap, perfect. I should probably activate the token, sorry. And as you can see, we have new Emperor, which is great. And let's see what's cooking. I don't think we played a land. Man, I'm all over the place, but I think I'm getting the hang of it. And when we play the land, we can just say go. I'm not generally super aggressive, because with all those cards, Emperor, Sunset Travelers, like we should be ahead. This should be mostly removal, or, you know, kind of whale or something. Let's play the Emperor, see what happens. And that's it, because we can exile it, and that's probably 2 removal spells. Usually they are left with a lot of removal. Alright guys, man, this went different than I expected, but I had a great time. Alright, we're going first. I kinda like the hand, man. Man, when you see the new card, and you get the feeling, right, if you're in a good spot or a bad spot. And I have to say, with Get Lost, I kinda have a good spot feeling so far. Like, this card is strong, man. Alright, let's enjoy what we knew that will come, right? No creatures yet. We definitely play this land. We could Sunset Reverie, but we don't want to. It will be better, don't you worry. Even Mono Red cannot empty their hand on 2 mana. Huh. I could just kill it, counter the next spell. You know what? Let's go for it. This is a card that doesn't really want to, you know, get damaged. And we want more blue, generally, with this deck. So I want to take some damage, and I want 1 not super threatening creature on the battlefield. Or just enough mana to, you know, go for all the things. I'm not sure how to use the Riddle. I think this is the card we don't mind. If they use map on them, yeah, it seems so, we'll just Smite. Hopefully he puts the counter, so he kinda wastes the whole thing. And now we know the next card, which is really interesting. He will have something in the graveyard. And maybe you just Sunset? No. If he attacks with Squee, that's a good deal for him. Man, I need to get damaged, but I'm so good at defending. Alright, never mind. Oh, our opponent is a nice. I'm sorry, bro, but I think you deserve this one. I mean, Mono Red, complaining about anything. That's too much. By the way, I always feel this is the counter spell, and I'm sure I will miss it at least once. Don't you want to nice me? Huh? Nice? Our Mono Red championship player. Alright, so a counter spell is a decent card. Oh, I should play the Painland. Maybe I should give up on the you know, Lolo things. because we're closing to the point where he can empty his hand, so I think we might have one more turn, and then we need to cast Reverie. It's weird they play Sokenzan. It means they need more value. Sure, bro. 18. Only 18 to go. That's the Devastator. Alright. And another turn here. Great. 3 damage. And he's trying to crack it really hard. Well, if we get flooded like this, it will definitely be worse. Oh no, he already played enough cards. Oh, that was awkward. So I just have to counter the Devastator probably. Sunset River will get us some value later. Nahir Warcrafting, definitely a counter spell target. Then they play the Shivan Devastator and we draw Sunfall. That's the play. Otherwise they get the thing instantly, right? Right now at least they need to invest something. And there was some exiling done, so they don't have squee mana. Yep. And now we should empty our hand. Unfortunately he did empty his as well. So I mean the Sunfall is the card of choice. Memory Deluge is acceptable as well, I guess. Everything has flying, so we're not going this direction. Here's the Sunfall and here's the Emperor. You know, the classic new cards. And we'll make our token much better. Yeah, we won't be able to draw the card, so just life gaining and making a 4/4 is pretty good. Yep, you could make the thing. If they flip turn here, that's actually really good for us, because we get everything. And squee from the... It actually is an important information that they need to reveal this card to you, because then as a control player you can just, you know, prepare. That's perfect. So they will flip it with the damage from Thundermaw. The only problem will be squee, but there won't be too many creatures in the graveyard. And our Sunfall token will be pretty huge. Hi. Man, I like those map tokens. They are actually pretty good. I could treasure map to scry, but I don't want to. I have very good answers already. And when I can activate this, they... Alright, I will give it to you. I mean, I didn't play it optimally, I think. Like, I messed there everything, but it was still good enough. Alright, guys. On the draw, unfortunately, however, we have treasure map. And let's see what type of aggro our opponent will be playing. We don't have counter spells yet. We'll see if the Tidebinder can get a good target. Oh man, you know I want it, but we aren't playing. It might be some kind of control in the end. And it feels like it so far. Alright. So, the Tidebinder should get a good target during the game. Quick study. Let's force our opponent to try to punish us, because that's probably the Emperor, right? And then we can play the treasure map. Fatefull Mending is interesting. So this is the Mindbreaker. Yep. Oh boy, but fortunately we can kill them very efficiently. So this will be a treasure map. Oh man, we can go... But it will be later. It will be later. Right now we need to set up the treasure map. We might upkeep... Man, I missed this card. You cannot believe how much I was playing with this one. All my junkiest of decks were like held together with treasure maps. Fatefull Mending, sure. So I think we might upkeep stop just to hit the land. A little bit risky, but I mean a lot of Mindbreakers. Yep. They didn't go for the lockdown, which is interesting. And let's see the power of... Get lost, bro. Oh man, you know what? I drew a land. It's fine. It's fine. Let's see. They might go for another one, which will be a bit scary, right? Let's read the card. Enters the battlefield, counter up to one target activated or triggered ability. It is activated ability. Let's try. I hope. Alright, I can target. Activated ability. Oh, that was wrong. I should just go for the hit. I didn't realize that it doesn't get exiled as a part. You know, learning experience. However, we can go for the map token. And before we do anything, this isn't relevant. We need some removal. I will go for it. We either hit a land or a removal. It's a land. That puts a lot of pressure. I will take the risk. Let's draw a card. Not exactly what I would want, but you know what? Let's take it, I guess. And we have something going on the buzzer, but it was purely my mistake, right? Because what I should have done is wait until it goes and then just counter the triggered ability whenever it attacks. I didn't know, man. Oh, I'm so sad because I might lose this game because of this. Sure. Yeah, nothing we can do about it. Honestly, I think we just play the Emperor and try to be aggressive, because we kinda have to close the game. I mean, the map wasn't very good here. Gets him a draw maybe, but River would probably do the same thing overall. Oh, the sum of my mistakes, but yeah. Hopefully you guys learn from it, because it's too late for me. Yeah, so that's it. I think the Emperor is better just because he creates way more pressure. And we can flip the treasure map, so we should still be in a good situation. I hope. I hope. The next turn is probably a Sunfall, but let's go.
Let your blade do the talking.
That's some serious damage, man. And let's activate because we can flip and get all the value. You know what? Not now. Normally I would take it, but not after getting hit so hard. And now we have a lot. If they Sunfall, we can keep creating samurais. We'll -1 into -1. And possibly attack with the bird. Oh, the lockdown is more sketchy. It doesn't hit everything though. Alright then. Here's the mana. It only hits tokens, so it's not the worst. He wants to go into the next phase. Let's go for Memory Deluge. Alright. Interesting. Interesting. I think we're in a... I guess I could draw cards. Yeah, I kinda forgot about this part. Not sure which one is the better. Let's go this into Emperor. Let's go double bird. We go Emperor right now. Create more stuff. And now treasure map because we have this one spare mana. So this is a little bit of a setup turn. By the way, the Tidebinder is doing great job. If I used this card correctly, that would be so much better. Unfortunately, no counterspells, so we cannot do anything about it. A little bit unfortunate. Still, we are going with the treasure map, which can draw us cards. We don't need more. Like, it's not exactly the type of play we want right now. So I can go 3 and 3. You know what? Let's throw the card. 1 mana only. And I mean, we are going with the birds. The bird plan is here. And one of the birds will be pretty good. You know what? Pretty decent. Let's create some map tokens. First, I mean, man, I can see this being lethal soon. And let's target this creature so it can explore. Hopefully we hit the counter. Nope, we don't. Alright, normally I would be happy with this outcome, but of course we are on the verge of getting milled with Jace. Transform. Killing the Emperor, sure. So I assume he has some answers, right? Otherwise it wouldn't make sense. More lands. I see, I see. I should probably do the upkeep stuff, but it's fine. Let's go for the smaller ones, because I think at least one of them will die. I'm sure it won't be a land. I'm sure of it. It protects against Smite, so it's something. Yeah, we keep it, we get the counter, and I mean we smork. Man, those birds are actually really good. I was scared that they won't be as great as I hoped for. But man, those maps, especially if you play a lot of them, they're doing work, man. And they have flying, so we can basically ignore the port state. Of course, we will lose one of them. Emperor is more unfortunate version. But, you know, it is what it is.
I am almost sad to see you go.
We don't really deal damage, unfortunately. So, we will go with the treasure map and use the map tokens on the next turn. We should definitely upkeep stop this. Alright, going for attack is good for us. Double Fatefull Absence... Fatefull Mending is worse. Yeah, I think after my misplay we are out, because I should have like 20 more cards, man. Alright, there. They are going for the cards. They don't have too many lands, man. But of course one of our lands is Treasure Cove. I also should probably draw a card with one of the treasures. But you know, learning. And I have to say, man, I like the feeling of a deck. And I love losing games because I made a mistake, man. It's so much better than just because you were on the draw. Alright. Alright. I probably won't be able to kill him, right? Alright guys, super weird trick if he goes for it, because he will. I will actually scry. Because then I know I can double explore, which is the most damage I can make in this turn. And all the other cards are out. Oh, but no, I cannot draw. I cannot use them at instant speed, right? Alright, that's unfortunate. Close, but not really. So, let's just do the thing. Let's try to deal as much damage as we can. Let's explore. Even though we cannot, there is nothing to explore. And yeah, I think... Oh! That's how it works. Put that card... Oh, it's not a land, because it's not a card. Alright, man, look how close this was. We actually were super close. If we had even one more turn, we could do it. That was a great game. I absolutely threw it away, but you know what? It's one-time thing, and hopefully after watching this video you will never make the same mistake again. Or as I did. Alright guys, after all of the games, they were pretty exciting, so I hope you had a great fun. And man, I have so much to talk about, you know, all the new cards, all the new synergies, which card performed and which didn't. But I will try to keep it brief. So, first card I didn't super like. Hurl into History. While I love this card, this kind of effect, the fact that it only targets creature for 5 mana is a little bit harsh. So I honestly wasn't super happy with it. We don't have too many targets, right? Even if you hit Emperor, very like there is high chance you have Emperor in the battlefield already, and you usually just take the card into your hand. For 5 mana, I think you can get better value. A single Memory Deluge might be better to just fish for the other counter spells. So that's the first one. Confounding Riddle. Not super sure about it. I think if you have like other hard counter spells, it can be nice, but I didn't really use the, you know, top 4 cards mode most of the time. Sometimes I wish it was Dissipate just for the exile effect, but not sure. I will keep testing it, because the other mode, for example, if you hit this in the aggro matchup, you can try to fish for the Sunfall, and on turn 5 when you Sunfall, you might just win the game thanks to this. And normally Dissipate is nearly a dead card, so, you know, interesting one. Still, we'll check it out. Out of Air was really performing nice for me. One of my favorite new counterspells, to be honest. The Tidebinder, as mentioned, was a bit of an experiment. I think it was a decent experiment. I wanted to go for two, but then you need to find those targets, and sometimes you just don't. The idea was that you can even counter Atraxa with this. If you counter Atraxa's ability when she enters the battlefield, she's just a 7/7 with Death Touch, Vigilance, Lifelink, and Flying, so basically nothing. It's just a bad creature in standard matters, or standard consideration. However, it's just 3 mana counterspell for Atraxa deck, and if you aren't playing Atraxa deck, you can just cast her, try to ambush something. It can be just a removal, basically. It dies to play with fire, which is unfortunate, but I think it is a pretty nice card. One of shouldn't hurt too much, and very often you get a very epic game out of this. Treasure Map, of course, the biggest hero of all of the games. I cannot stress how much I enjoyed this. When Treasure Map gives you so many decisions, so even shorter games still have a lot of meaningful decisions, so you can improve, you can learn. That's really cool part about the Magic, and when you flip them, you get insane advantage both in tempo and in cards. So yeah, probably control decks want to play some of those. Not sure if 4. To be fair, I think 2 is very responsible amount. 3 is a little bit stretching. 4 is just me because I like Treasure Map. So I know it's a rare. I kinda had it before, so I didn't need to craft the new ones. And just for you, if you ever played Historic and you have those cards, be sure to just not add from the Caverns of Ixalan the new ones. Just go for the all the cards and just write Treasure Map. So you don't need to craft it. You can use the old one and not craft something you actually have. So Get Lost. Get Lost is like really nice card so far. I like it more than the Fatefull Absence. If you were watching channel for a long time, you have seen that sometimes I just simply didn't kill a creature because I didn't want to give my opponent cards. With Get Lost, it gets easier. Most of the time it didn't hurt at all, so it was just a destroy effect. Like with the Smite, they created a 3/3 out of 1/1, and I still smited, so I would do exactly the same thing. So then it has no drawback at all. They need a creature, they need to activate its sorcery speed, which limits their ability to be aggressive, and usually they really want to be aggressive. So kind of super cool cards so far, and I wanted to use 4 of them simply because I wanted to check how it performs. Probably the responsible amount is between 2 and 3, but I didn't feel a pain for playing 4 of those. They were always useful, so we will see. And the birds are really great. One of the things I'm not super sure, when I faced Mirex decks, I still felt the pressure of me being forced to be on the offensive because the Mirex is inevitable. Or, man, the word. And that's not the same for birds. They're great against more aggressive game like decks because you can just get to the good cards faster and also potentially block. With one Emperor counters, it's a 3/4 with flying, so it kills all the chicks, all the stuff. However, Mirex seems to be a little bit better against control still. I think just because they can kill it and they usually have a lot of removal lying around. So yeah, I think it's probably good to play a mix of those and Mirex. Probably like 2 Mirex and maybe 3 Anchorage. I would personally still play 4 because I like it, but probably 3 and 2 Mirex is a bit more responsible. You can also think about Field of Ruins for Mirex. That's the alternative game plan, but it might hurt your mana base. Don't forget, for Out of Air you need double blue mana on turn 2. That's why we have so blue mana base in this one. So if you hit too many Mirexes, it might hurt you, so that's why we weren't playing. It's just more, clear mana base this way. So, that's my impressions. I hope you had a great fun watching the video. The control seems to be very interesting. Not sure if that's because of the meta, that is a little bit changing maybe, but even against Monored, I had good fun, so that tells a lot. Alright guys, thank you for being here, thank you for watching, I hope you had a blast, and see you tomorrow.